After 2 periods of play, the Wales Conference 6, but the Campbell Conference, with 3 goals in that second period, comes back to trail by only 3 after trailing after the first period 5-0. We're live on USA Sports at the Meadowlands Arena in East Rutherford, New Jersey, and this, of course, is the 36th All-Star Game. 2 players who will take home a lot more than an All-Star program, they'll take home a lot of memories from this game, are John Ogrodnik and Phil Housley. For John Ogrodnik, his 3rd appearance in the All-Star Classic, and for Phil Housley of the Buffalo Sabres, his first. John, I'd like to start with you. You've been here twice before, yet I understand that you were very, very uptight before this game. What's the story?
I don't know what it is, though. It's out of the 4 years I've been playing in the National Hockey League, I've never been uptight or nervous for a game, but I guarantee you that the 3 All-Star appearances that I've made, I've been nervous. I don't know what it is. Maybe it's starting off, skating out to center ice and facing the camera, It's something about it.
Now, you scored your 2nd All-Star goal tonight. How big of a thrill is that for you?
Oh, it meant a lot to me. It was, I was nervous, I was uptight, so, when you get a goal like that, it just tends to relax you and gets you back to your normal game.
On to Phil Housley, and the butterflies were what in your stomach, Phil?
Oh, I was really nervous before the game, and then made a couple bad plays, but after the first period, it went away, and then started to come back and play.
Now, Gilbert Perreault has been here a few times. Did he say anything to you before the game?
No, not really. He's just having a good time and trying to enjoy himself, just like me, and if I wanted to ask him something, I guess I could. It's the 7th All-Star appearance.
Now, Phil, you've been very versatile with the Buffalo Sabres. You've played defense, you've played up front. How is Al Arbour using you in this All-Star game?
Definitely at defense. That's where I was voted, and I enjoy playing defense, and I always will.
Now, John, we're going to get a chance to look at your goal. It came in the second period. Your team was hurting there for a while, partner.
Oh, I know it was. It was a little scary. They're down 5-0, I think, after the first period.
Do you remember what happened here?
Well, Steve Yzerman made a good play off the face-off here, and I think the whole key was that you can see Brian Bell was holding off, I think it was Pierre LaRouche. And, I looked up, I took my time on it, and, I'm not picking any corners, I'm just trying to get as hard as I can and right on the net.
Now, the obvious thing coming there is that Steve Yzerman was the one who won the face-off. He's a teammate of yours in Detroit. Is that anything that you've worked on or done before with Steve?
Definitely. Steve's a right-handed centerman, and, the past couple of years after they made that trade and traded Dale McCourt I had a left-handed centerman, so on a face-off like that, him being a right-handed, he's able to draw it on his backhand to me, which is the easiest position for him.
John, how do you approach the game mentally as far as how hard you're going to go in the game, as far as hitting and so forth?
I don't know. I think it's. I don't really think about that. I think it's just because I'm so nervous before the game starts that I'm just afraid to make a bad mistake or trip on fall on my face or something stupid like that. I'm not worried about how hard I'm going to play.
Phil, I wonder what went on in your locker room after the first period when you were up 5-0. It seemed like a boat ride then, real cruise.
Well, before the game, I tell you, I didn't know what to think. I was never here before, and I didn't know how to approach it. But after coming in after the first period, being ahead 5-0, I was very comfortable. But knowing the Campbell Conference, how many good forwards they had, they came back with 3 quick goals.
As far as thrills go, your NHL career is not short, but not long. But is this your best thrill so far?
Yes, definitely. When I found out, I was so excited. I really didn't expect to be here my 2nd year, but when I sat down and thought about it, I really didn't know what did I do to be here. But I'm glad to be here, and I'm just going to try to represent my teammates back in Buffalo as best I can.
Quickly, tell me what you think about the way John Ogrodnik plays hockey.
Well, when he's coming screaming down on the winger, it's tough to stand up on him.
John, what do you think about the way Phil Housley plays hockey?
You got to play his body. He's very tricky on his feet. He can turn on a dime and he can handle the puck very well. So you got to play his body. If you start playing the puck on him, he can turn you inside out pretty quick.
Thanks, guys. Really enjoy watching you play tonight. John Ogrodnik and Phil Housley of the Wales and Campbell Conference All-Star teams at the Meadowlands Arena tonight. Back in 1978, the only overtime game ever played in NHL All-Star competition, Gilbert Perreault scored it, and guess where the game was? That's right, at the Aud in Buffalo, and that sent the place screaming. Wales 3, Campbell's 2, the only OT game. Coming up, we're going to tell you about Youth Hockey Week in the United States, and that means a chat with Dave and Bill Christian, one of the most successful hockey families in the United States. 6-3, Wales over the Campbells. Back live on USA in a moment.
There is a special feeling in Oldsmobile.
Now, don't get the wrong impression. I didn't get this Cutlass Sierra just for fun.
But this car is the most fun I've had in a long time.
Because the Cutlass Sierra handles as smart as it looks. And that's fun you can feel. Of course, man does not drive for fun alone. But maybe he should.
There is a special feel in an Oldsmobile.
Tired of those high fuel prices? Well, guess what? They're not getting any lower. Fight back with the attic blanket from Owens Corning. It's the most powerful roll of thermal protection you can buy. Before fuel bills put you in the red, get the attic blanket and put your house in the pink. Owens Corning, building products that put your house in the pink.
Back live on USA Sports in New Jersey, just across the Hudson River from the Big Apple after 2 periods of play. Wales Conference 6, Campbell Conference 3. A lot of goals in this game so far. Take a look at these youngsters. Perhaps one day they too will be appearing in the NHL All-Star Game. They're all part of the youth hockey movement in the United States. It's growing, and it is a very important week for them coming up in the United States. It is Youth Hockey Week. And along with me in the USA Sports studio today, 2 members of a very active family in the youth hockey movement. Bill Christian, a winner of the United States gold medal back at Squaw Valley in 1960, and Dave Christian, who followed his dad's efforts in 1980 with the U.S. Olympic team. That in itself must be a big thrill. But Bill, why are you here with me tonight? What is Youth Hockey Week?
Well, I'm here because the 4th through the 12th is Youth Hockey Week, and it's a week set aside by the Amateur Hockey Association of the United States that they're the governing body of the amateur hockey, and we're the spokesman for their week. We're the honorary co-chairman of Youth Hockey Week in the United States.
Now, Dave, we were just joking that your father got a handshake when he won the gold medal. You got a ring and all the glory. How did you get involved in the youth hockey movement?
Oh, I was asked by a house if I would represent them and be a spokesman for them, and I went through their program and was associated with them through minor hockey and also with the Olympic team. So, I'm very happy to be a part of it.
Bill, what happens during that week?
Well, I think it's just we try to honor people, volunteers, coaches, players, make people aware of the great things that amateur hockey can do for kids and well, everybody that's involved in youth hockey, coaches, parents, just to show the people the good things that can happen to boys that play hockey.
And Dave, for all the young players across this country who are looking forward to that week and who look forward to just playing hockey any old time they can lace up the skates, what can they notice about a game like the one they're watching tonight? What can they spot? How can they emulate these stars?
Well, I think the biggest thing that they can see from this game is that the players are having fun at the game and they're enjoying it. They're working hard, but also it's a game that you have to enjoy to be able to play well, and that comes first. And if you enjoy the game, then you can work hard at it and you can play well at it.
Bill, what do you think about what your son's done with his hockey career?
Well, I think it's really great. I'm very happy for him. I didn't go quite as far as he did, but I enjoyed every minute of it, and I still enjoy hockey a great deal.
Dave, was there any choice for you to play hockey, or was it just all assumed when you were growing up that you were gonna play this game?
Well, I was pretty much born with skates on. The part of the country I come from, northern Minnesota, there's not much else to do during the winter except play hockey.
Bill, what have you thought about the game so far? Boy, one period it was dominated by one team, and then the other team comes back with 3 straight.
Well, I like it. There's a lot of. I'm a forward, so I like the offensive part of the game, and we're certainly seeing a lot of offense there tonight. It's wide open, and it's just fun to watch different players make their different moves and stuff. It's really enjoyable.
Have you been back to Squaw Valley since your big day there?
No, I haven't.
You're kidding.
No,
you got to go back and relive it. How about you? Have you been back to Lake Placid since you won?
No, I haven't. I don't think it would ever be the same if I went back there.
You two guys need some travel. Well, thanks very much to Bill Christian and to Dave Christian telling us about Youth Hockey Week in the United States. And we're going to wave the red, white, and blue just a little bit and take a look at all the American-born players who are currently playing in the National Hockey League. I think you'll be surprised because it's quite a list. This is amazing.
Honda would like to make a point about the new car. It goes an EPA estimated 51 miles per gallon, 67 highway. It's the #1 gas mileage car in America, period. The new Honda Civic CRX. The longest distance between 2 points.
There's too much sameness in the way most of us lead our lives. But taking a vacation up there is a decision to do something different.
Alaska is an eagle that I want to fly across the sea of castles, reaching for the sky. Alaska is the part of me left unexplored. Alaska is the warming sun on a misty fjord. She is the mystery that I will never tame. She is Alaska, Alaska. Alaska is her name.
Once you've gone to Alaska, you'd never come all the way back. It's that special.
Alaska.
There's a thief in this attic. This skimpy amount of insulation can rob you blind on your fuel bill.
Fight back with the attic blanket from Owens Corning. It's the thickest, most powerful roll of thermal protection you can have. It can help you save money on your fuel bills.
It is an open and shut case.
Owens Corning, building products that put your house in the pink.
After 2 periods in the 36th NHL All-Star Game, the Prince of Wales Conference 6, the Clarence Campbell Conference 3. In that second period, 3 goals in a row by the Campbell Conference. Savard at 123, Rota at 551, Grodnik at 642, and then LaRouche got the Wales Conference back on the board with a goal late in the period at 17:34. Dan Kelly and Gary Green up in our USA broadcast booth. 2 different games, really. Wales dominate the first, Campbell's dominate most of the second.
I think when you get embarrassed as badly, Dan, as the Campbell Conference did in that first period, even though the shots on net were equal, when you get 5 goals scored on you, you don't get 1. You're bound to come out in that next period and play an awful lot better.
Let's look at one of the goals we saw in that second period, another Wales goal by Pierre LaRouche.
Well, there was a mistake made here, and that was allowing Pierre LaRouche in the first place to get in that position. You see he was all alone. That puck kind of bobbled off of Coffey. He was back and behind. Ramage trying to get back in time, but it was way too late. Pierre LaRouche making a fancy little move there in front of the net area, beating Fuhrer. And I'll tell you, he's looked pretty good on wing.
What do we look for in period 3? More of the same, wide open offense, I mean?
Well, I think if you ask me, Dan, and whatever I tell, it's going to be the opposite anyway, the way tonight's game going. But I think they're going to have a difficult time, the Campbell's Conference, that is, in putting anything by Chico Resch in this third period.
He's playing in his home rink, and the crowd have given him a great reception, Chico Resch, as he took over midway in that second period. The NHL on USA is brought to you by Honda, makers of the Accord LX 4-door sedan. Here we go to the third period. You'll remember a year ago, Wayne